Hello, it's Joyful Hermit. Got the haircut yesterday. Today I put on some makeup so I don't look quite so sick. I still feel sick. Had a rough night last night with pain, with the neck pain, and just anyway, we'll see. We'll see what develops. Anyway, I don't think I'm gonna be able to allow our insurance for this, but that's the breaks. And um, Anyway, I thought this morning's scripture, especially the first reading and the psalm, was very, very good. The first reading was, well, even the gospel, but it was all about forgiveness, mercy, how about God's clemency to souls, and I thought I need to be like that. During the night, the bad spirits were working on me, especially when I woke up just ill with pain. I anyway, I have to just be careful not to go in that direction because it's pointless. It's not going to change anything regarding the compassion or Christianity of others. We just have to do the best we can. Make sure we don't do as others do, and don't drop into the negativity or the upset when you're basically sort of left on your own to fend for yourself when you're injured, or even I was thinking just a little bit ago, when you have mystical experiences, don't expect an easy ride. Even though you can't help them, don't expect others to accept or to be kind to you. It most likely isn't going to happen. It's part of the cross. Anyway, I found this poem that I'd written when I was first, years ago, thinking about vicarious suffering and making offerings, especially for this one young mother who eventually did die of cancer. She had 4 little children. Her husband already had been cheating on her, and she got cancer, and it's a very sad situation. I titled it, "And Why Not Take On the Sorrows of the World?" Because I think it was my mother. She was alive then, and I think at one point she says, "Why take on the sorrows of the world? You can't do that, and stop, just take care of yourself." I already had terrible back pain then. So, and of course, my mother, she wanted to protect me. And why not take on the sorrows of the world, the screaming, crying, painful aches of silent soul and reeling mind? Eat the bread and drink the blood and become the heart of everyone. Say goodbye to what is known and loved in this our graveyard of frivolity. Tear the bark from naked tree and clothe ourselves like drapery upon a cross, of which we know nothing and understand less. Become the sword that pierces flesh, skewers and entwines beloved, twists and binds us to his wound, weeps and throbs us in her breast. O Mary, cleft from child Jesus, broken at the cross, let me feel your pain and that of others who suffer the sorrows of the world. And I said it was for Lainey. I dedicated it to Lainey the day after she learned that cancer soaked her bones and broke her neck, for her 4 children, Carl, Emily, Ted, and Mark, and all their sorrows in this world. And those children now are adults somewhere. I don't know where they are. And that was back in '94 that I wrote this, so it was a year before I became Catholic. You know, they were maybe ages 11 down to 4 or 3 at the time. And this is another poem I wrote, and this was after she died. She died in December of 1995. But I was pondering, and I understood and I understand the other world because I had my death experience, and I've had other experiences of being more or less out of this world and in another dimension, another realm. Little visits that his real presence would grant me now and then. To understand and not to have any fear of death whatsoever. It's so beautiful. Anyway, this one was for Lainey also. Maybe she hadn't quite died yet, but she was very near death. And I thought of her, I called it For a Mother Preparing to Metamorphose. Be a mother from heaven. Use the gift of all love. Watch your children develop. Touch their hearts from above. The self is a self without body, breathing a life of its own. In flows the milk of the Spirit, nurturing babes beyond grown. Bless the mother in heaven, left her vessel behind, omnipotent now in her glory, teaching each child in kind. Being a mother in spirit, only the faithful can see, arms enfolding your babies, words a whispering breeze. Far more effective from heaven, love's unencumbered embrace, thought but reflected image, a mother's forever grace. Be a mother from heaven, no pain or foils there. Guide your children and tender God's mystical mercy and care. And this is so true. Even this ecstasy I have at every Mass, of course I haven't been back at all. I first need to see this doctor about the neck on Monday. And if I do go, I probably need to wear a cervical collar to protect in case anyone else would try to touch me, not knowing, not meaning to hurt me. But it does cause injury. But I have told my spiritual director in the past that my death experience is probably the closest that I could come to describing the ecstasy at Mass, where all of you is there and you're in the presence of God in tremendous love and peace, and you're not really breathing anymore. You don't have a heartbeat. That's why these people panic so much. They can't detect me breathing, and they can't find a pulse rate. In fact, like I said, that one time that doctor was digging down into my jugular trying to find a pulse rate, and he couldn't find one. So when we die and are on our way out of our bodies and beyond, all of our emotions go with us. We can think, we can see. It's all with the inner sight, with the inner senses. And the joy is supreme. And we can see other beings from this other sphere. And we are in the center of God's love. It's just so beautiful. Everything is fresh and clear. So these mothers who die, sad as it is, and Lainey did struggle in her death. She did not have a peaceful passing. She fought and fought to stay. She wanted so much to remain with her children. And I didn't have an opportunity to talk with her at all. I tried to explain to her sister to reassure her that she would be in contact with her children in ways far superior than we are here on earth, in so many ways. But of course, the sorrow and the tragic aspect is the children who no longer have their mother. And they don't necessarily comprehend that their mother is with them in spirit. All of this takes a great deal of faith. And yet, I do know that oftentimes children or adults, anyone, that we have experiences, if we're sensitive and have faith, from those who have gone on before us, when they try to reassure us or give us messages or just be near us. We can feel them, we can sense them, and we can listen. Sometimes in dreams they come. So all in great faith. But I just wanted to share those poems and just talk a little bit about that. Maybe a little bit more of conclusion on vicarious suffering, and how, yes, it is all right to desire to take on the sorrows of the world, but just understand that The Lord gives us what we can bear, and oftentimes, at least with me, oftentimes it seems like He gives me more than I can bear. And maybe we'll get to that point sometime. The jury's still out on all of us. We don't know how we will handle more and more suffering. God bless His real presence in you. Thank you for your prayers, and know that I'm praying for each of you out there.